We are taking you from the hottest part of the day, looking out north as that cloud development really touches the end of the tropopause and then makes its way in over the Concho Valley. Seeing a few flashes of lightning, but that rain could be making its way into our area and could be dropping those temperatures down a little further than anticipated. Right now we're looking out across the board, seeing that everybody's hanging out in those 90s, kind of making their way down slowly as things cool off. Some of that rain going to be making its way into our area later tonight. We're talking about this upper level pattern, and when we're talking about some of these areas like over the Four Corners, we're talking about some of the weather development there. When we're saying these thermal low pressure systems are forming several thousand feet up in the air as that warm moist air is undergoing something what we call orographic lift, or being pushed up through the topography of the mountains in the Sierra Madres. As that moisture makes its way up into the atmosphere, you see as it builds around that high pressure, kind of makes this cyclonic rotation up through New Mexico. And that's where it's being pulled down by this low pressure system and this upper level jet pattern that's being made, where it's pushing most of this moisture down into the south near the Gulf Coast region. When we talk about the severe weather outlook, we're saying that a lot of those storms that are being pulled in from those frontal systems, combined with that moisture we were just talking about, shape up once those conditions shape up around sunset when things cool off. So it's still light in the desert or in the Rocky Mountains, but as we look further east, that's when we're starting to see those temperatures really cool off, which is where we're seeing these storms develop right along that line. And that frontal boundary extends all the way down right to about Texas, where it starts to run into that high pressure. When we get a closer look at something when we're talking about this orographic lift, this thermal lows, that's where we're seeing this strange rotation of moisture making its way into our area. But then we're also watching a push over Lubbock, where they're continuing to get slammed with storms and that cloud cover. As you can see, a lot of it being left to make its way into there when we're talking about the stationary boundary. Now, these frontal systems, very strong, very large. Between that high pressure and that low pressure, you saw the size of these storms. And that's where we talk about the stationary boundary only varying about 5 to 10 miles per hour from north to south, and that's a lot of the wind flow that we've been seeing. You see those northerly winds going to start pushing some of that rain into our area, starting to see it around Sterling City with those clouds, spotty showers. And that's going to continue to last overnight as these showers continue to wrap up around the mountains and then come back down across the Edwards Plateau. When we're talking about a little geography here, seeing how much it's dropping those temperatures, you can see it's dropped down about 10 to 20 degrees from where it was only a couple hours ago. So that cloud cover really doing a lot to drop those temperatures, but it's going to trap a lot of that heat overnight. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, you could be still dealing with some of those lighter showers. We're looking at those humidity values and those dew points come closer together, where we're seeing it rise about 10% from where it was earlier this evening. So giving you an idea of how much moisture is actually in the atmosphere as these storms start to close in over us overnight. So the Futurecast is going to show you how the winds out of the north, that cloud cover going to build in by about Tuesday early morning, still seeing those on-off showers. And then by the time we get through later in the morning, about the early afternoon, could burn off, could see a lot of that sun come out and warm things up, because we are still slated to touch into those triple digits with those heat advisories in effect till about Wednesday. So again, tonight temperatures could be dropping down to about 79, if not a little lower if some of that rain makes its way into our area. And then by tomorrow morning, we're going to see maybe a couple AM showers across the region, but then it's going to warm up as those clouds quickly start to burn off, back up into about those triple digits. And that's going to continue that trend as we make our way through the rest of the week, where we're going to continue to see those triple digits as that high pressure, that heat dome continues to build over us before it starts to push out in a couple more days, where we'll see those low temperatures really stay on the warmer side as well. We're going to see those humid conditions. We're going to see a lot more sunshine, so I want to see good breaks and people being careful. We'll have more up after the break. You're watching KSAN News at 10.